Ready to Love, null and void. Tori is sent home. Are we surprised?
Finally.
Absolutely not. I
We
was
called
so
it.
glad that he left. And I also had to call out them tight ass pants that he had on while he over here talking about he was going to put some in somebody's kidney. I don't know any men that are around here wearing those tight ass pants that's putting anything in a woman's kidney. Okay. So I was so amazed to see him scoop his ass out the door. How did you ladies feel about that?
He
I
should
was
have been
glad.
gone. He didn't have no connections left. So it was like he should have left 2 episodes ago.
Can I be fucked up right quick?
Please.
I think there was a weight lifted off of his eye. I'm gonna just say it like that.
What?
The weight was lifted off the eye. Because when I looked at him, he was smiling and everything looked leveled. It was great. I was happy to see him go because it was pep in his step and the eyes were blinking and they were all on one accord. And I was just like, yes.
Oh, wow. Well, God damn. Well, I'm sure there was definitely a weight that was lifted. My God.
I'm
My
sorry.
God,
Excuse
Tori.
me. Excuse me. I'm
What
sorry.
happened? What happened? What happened?
Leslie Santiago.
I done clicked on the wrong one.
Yeah, Bondi, I get where you're saying, but can you stop smoking and hiding yourself? I love you and respect you because 99.9% I agree with you. So let me ask you a question. What the fuck that got to do with what we talking about? I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say. Something you were trying to say something with that. Let me know what you meant when you said, "Can you stop smoking and hiding yourself?" Excuse me. Who the fuck are you talking to? You're not talking to me. Please correct yourself because you're not talking to me. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just go back to Ready to Love. All right.
Ah, wow. Well, back to it. Let's get into Sabrina and Demetrius. All right. So it was bothering me seeing her beg for his attention, telling him, "Oh, I want us to start focusing on each other because we've been spending so much time focusing on other people." But then when you get the opportunity to kiss all up on his ear, kiss or rub up all up on him, then you kind of like rejecting at the same time. I don't know about y'all, but something about Sabrina kind of made me just question her this episode because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like she's gotten into it with a lot of the guys. Like Laverne snapped on her about some stuff that he heard she said. She done got into it with Tori. Now she done came for Donovan. I feel like I need to keep my eye on Miss Sabrina. As much as she said Donovan wasn't ready for a relationship, I don't know if she is either. Because everything that you want Demetrius to give you, it seems like Donovan is willing to give you that. Yet you rather chase behind this man that's not really giving you much affection like you would want. So it was just a bit off for me. How did you guys feel about that?
Have we seen them go on a date? I can't remember if we've even seen Demetrius and Sabrina on a
The group
date.
one.
And that's the weird part for me. It's like when she said that she didn't want to like kiss on him because she still didn't like Donovan. I'm like, but you didn't have any issue kissing on him when you still liked Tori in the beginning, which was the whole reason Tori got mad. So it was weird. Like her energy never matches her actions. Like you've already done that to somebody else. You kiss somebody in front of someone you already like, and it's kind of crazy that you want to now be like, oh, I don't want to kiss on him. And also, when when Demetrius said how he's different outside this process, I'm like, we haven't seen you do shit this whole season. I still don't get why anyone likes him. I haven't seen him have any like lusty, flirty, even vibe. He a bald man with a beard who be around there and then with a sim and that's it. But he don't do shit. I don't get why Sabrina is even wanting to date him at all because like he doesn't give attention at all.
I have a question. What did Donovan say about Sabrina?
Girl, let me try and remember. I don't think he's. What did Donovan
Because I
say?
mean, is this
He
something
called
outside
her.
of the show?
I'm talking about when they had the round table. When they
Yeah,
had the round table, I think she called him out first.
that's what
I'm
I'm
trying to see if I
saying.
At
can pull
the
out
end,
my notes.
Because
Yeah, at
unless
the
I'm
very
seeing something
end.
differently, I recall that they specifically asked her what the negatives were with
Mhm.
Demetrius and Donovan. And she said, with Donovan, I'm just not sure if he's ready because
Oh,
he got divorced recently. And with Demetrius, I don't know if we would mesh in the long run because my default isn't to be submissive. And his friend expressed that he wanted a submissive woman. So I was just like, how did Sabrina become the problem in this situation when all she did was kind of
mhm.
say what she felt like may not work, which is what she was asked?
True. I guess he was upset. Number one, the same reason Tori was upset because she was focused more so on Demetrius, and he also said that he didn't like when she said to him that he would be the person that the next guy to go home or something like that. Which I do think that he was putting 20 on 10 with what she said, but I think that was the other stuff that he said. I'm trying to see if it was anything else, but go ahead.
I don't know. I felt like Donovan came off like a child in that moment to me. Oh, I'm
Hmm.
getting a little bit like it wasn't even anything really bad like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I just kind of felt like in that moment it seemed like he was just being retaliatory because you didn't have an issue with her until she said that she had an issue with your
With
time
you.
frame. And
Hmm.
as it pertains to her picking Demetrius over Donovan, I was just kind of like, well, she had been dating Demetrius for longer. Like they had just been in the process together longer. And let's not forget when Donovan was talking about her spending time with Demetrius, he was sliding into Carmen's bed. So I was just kind of like, what? Like that,
Mm.
y'all saw that, right? That wasn't just me. I'm not tripping. That he slid into one of them bunk beds with her.
Oh yeah, with Carmen he did.
what
Yeah.
Carmen?
So that's
And
why
I
I was
didn't understand that. I was cringing. Like, why?
like,
Why
now I was
her?
crazy. That's why I was like, I don't understand. How did Sabrina all of a sudden become like the bad guy just for vocalizing that she could see where things could go wrong with both of those men who have issues? Like, I don't know. And I feel like Demetrius is on bullshit. I think Demetrius is one of those men that he feels like if he's not getting what he wants out of you, which is the submission shit, he's gonna
Mhm.
withhold affection. And I think that's what he does with Sabrina. Because there have been times where he said, oh, I'm gonna go full throttle. You know, remember they talked at the pool and he was
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna,
The
do this.
lies.
Yeah. And now it seems as if you're telling us that you can't do all of that because she's still interested in other people, but she was interested in people before. And that's what the process is. So
Mm.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like the men, to me, more so, the men seem to be upset whenever there's a
Mhm.
woman that has more choices. They want to be the ones that have to choose between two people. They don't never like
Mm.
when a woman is the one that basically has her pickings, which I feel like is how it should be. But whatever.
Gotcha, gotcha. No, I think you make a good point with that. When it comes to Demetrius and him saying, "Oh, I'm not. I'm." I don't know what he said directly, but basically he says because she's dating other people, she'll get my full self when she's only focused on me. And I'm like, she's already told you she was focused on you. So Tommy, how do you sit in that space and hear him say what he say and not check him and let him know and understand like this is the process that you entered on. You entered into a process where a woman is going to date other people. And Tommy has always told y'all to arrive as yourself and your open self as that. And then you over here telling us that you're gonna be closed off, but at the same time pursuing this woman the entire time, but really she the one pursuing you because you're not coming up on her. Girl, I'm ready for Demetrius to go to. I'm ready for the show to go off.
Yeah, I'm about to say, when the next
It's
season
coming
coming
to
up?
the end.
Who the next bunch of motherfuckers we gonna get in here to fuck?
Probably a few
Right.
more
Some
weeks.
folks from Miami. Did you go, Jay Lee?
I just think they all can end. The only couple is really Joy and Clifton. Everybody else can go.
That's a fact. Nobody else is giving. Speaking of Clifton,
Mm-mm.
Dakia decided that she wanted to talk to him about the Joy in him situation. And she said that let me go back. Yeah, she said that you pretty much said that we were gonna do all of these things together, but then when Miss Girl got here, we didn't. And if you would have already made your choice, I wish you would have let me know. And then he was like, he had plans on doing all of that stuff, like hanging out with her, spending time with her. But when Joy came along, it just changed. I just feel like he didn't. I don't know if he really had plans to hang with her like she thought. I feel like he was just telling her whatever it is that she wanted to hear. I felt bad for her when she started crying though, because I don't think she cried over him. I think she was just crying over the fact that I opened myself up to this process and I haven't found the person for me. I think it was messed up that she actually had to go to him and had a conversation versus him coming to her.
You know what I like the most about it is I noticed that Joy had that conversation with him last episode and was like, you need to talk to her about what you feeling. And I at first I felt like, are you saying this because you want him to be clear for you? And now watching this, I'm feeling like, no, she just wanted him to clarify it for everybody, like she said, because you still have, and they're friends. Like you see when they get up and when they hug each other and shit, like you ain't even got to do all of that. So they are like making an effort, Joy and Nikea, making an effort to not allow what they're trying to do with Clifton affect how they treat each other, which I find highly, respectable. But at the same time, Joy just gives me, I'm getting older and I look like this. So if I haven't held down a man yet, I need to be desperate to hurry up and get the first one that makes my nipples hard from looking at him. And I get it. Like Clifton has this appeal, but I don't like when I see women put forth more excitement and effort with a man than they put forward with him. And to me, he is always like so laid back, and she's always running and jumping and just doing way too much physically to show how much she likes him. And I just kind of, it starts to come up like pick me-ish just a little bit, even though she's not doing that with the other women. But Tina's ass, when Tina showed up and she was like, she thinking I'm gonna talk to her, but you just got here. I'm like, what that got to do with you? What you mad at Tina for not being here, bitch? Like, that ain't got nothing to do with you. So I don't know, y'all. I feel like all the relationships are trash, essentially.
I like Joy and Clifton only because, like, when I see Joy on her IG, I think that's just her personality. She's just like she's a bubbly person. I think Clifton is a very laid back dude. I think that's why they click, because they're not having to compete with each other's, auras or whatever. Even though she is extra, extra, I like that he accepts it. I like that when she is extra, extra, he allows her to feel like he enjoys her being around him. Whereas for like Sabrina and Demetrius, you get nothing. I think that's the reason people keep saying like they're the only true couple here, because since day one, when they was on that little bench or whatever chit chatting, it was like a little twinkle there. And I think all season they've kept that same thing with Clifton and Nikea. I think the fact that we don't see him be that affectionate and open with her is because he don't really feel it with her. Like he like her or whatever, and she cool, and he don't want to hurt her feelings. But yeah, I think he doesn't. He's more open to me with Joy than with Nikea.
Oh yeah,
like even how they have fun, how they be laughing, how he was in the little onesie,
with her
whatever.
too, though. Y'all noticed that.
He did that because he wanted that boyfriend to be jealous, and that was him being an asshole. But like on general, usually when you see him and Nikea versus him and Joy always like Joy seems that bubbly when she's with the other dudes too. Like that's just who she is. She's not gonna run and jump on them, but she gonna still be like, oh ha 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 or whatever. And that's how her IG is too. So it's weird that Nikea didn't, I guess, pay attention to the red flags of Joy and Clifton being closer, so that when they got to the cabin, she could have kind of felt like, you know what, I see their connect, because she kept saying, I see y'all connect. You saw it. So I felt like she should not have been surprised that he spent less time with her that weekend, just based on seeing them beforehand, not in the same house together. So why wouldn't they spend more time? But Clifton should have for sure talked to Kia before they sat down. Like he should have said, you know what, after day one, let me chit chat with you. Because I think after day one we knew they was in the same bed sleep together. So it's like, whatever. But the kid deserves happiness. It's like someone said, it's just not with some how Clifton said, like she deserves love and be happy. It's just not from me.
I feel what you're saying, but honestly, I still feel like it's something about like you can be bubbly. I'm bubbly. Like we can be bubbly, bitch. But you don't know him like that. And I honestly do feel like he in some way communicated something to Nikea that made her feel like she had more of his attention than he really did. And she didn't get a chance to really see it until they were in that close setting and were sleeping overnight. I think he was able to show her something different when they weren't getting in the bed together at the end of the night, him and Joy. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that that's why they do that group trip, because it's almost like it forces you to have to pick a side. Because once you get there, you're going to naturally, like, you know, just spend more time with whoever you like more. And then the other person is going to be able to figure out that this ain't really it. But I don't trust Clifton. And that's the reason why I feel like I wanted Joy to be more reserved with him at this, you know, during listen, if they got engaged, if they were married and she was jumping all over that man, I wouldn't have shit to say. But because they're in this process, I felt like she was just showing too much of how much she liked him. And I wanted her to pull that back just a little bit until he showed more of, you know, a solid, like, this is what I'm really trying to do. Because, you know, they be talking all of that shit. And then you get to the end of the show and they really just wanted to choose you out of everybody else. But that doesn't mean that they want to exclusively date you and no one else after the show is over. They just didn't want to date anybody else on the show. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I got my eyes on Clifton.
Gotcha. Real quick.
Not they deserve each other because neither one of them can dress. I am done.
like boho sheep. She had that boho.
He be having tight shirt, like he be giving you a medium shirt now. I'll be like, nigga, is it built or is it or what? Like, is it muscle? What's going on? It's a little tight.
All right, y'all. Tina did not show up, and she actually stood up nephew Tommy. But when we ended up getting to, first of all, Tina, you should have been left, girl. You shouldn't even came down to the doggone lake house or wherever you went, girl. You should have went on about your business. But we get to the group setting where Tommy is talking to everybody. The main thing I want to talk about is Paul calling out Carmen for, I guess, because she's not very open. And then Carmen says, no, you're not open because I asked you. It's so funny. I asked you about your dates and you don't want to talk about it. I feel like Paul don't got to talk to you about his dates. You need to be focused on just what y'all got going on, in my opinion. Then she also gets so much on her high horse, get so upset, and decided that she was going to air out the things that he said, basically insinuating he was saying these things about Nikea as though, oh, I need a woman that looks a certain type of way, and I got to have a woman like this and have a woman like that. But shout out to Nikea, because Nikea said, I don't believe anything this BIT is over here saying. I don't believe her at all. And I was here for Nikea collecting Carmen. So they almost went at it. But Paul's face when Carmen called him out about the things that he said, I was like, he dead said that. And then he looked directly at Nikea.
Yeah, he said it.
So it do make me think he said that about her. But I don't know if he did, but I do believe he said it.
I think he did, just based off the fact that every time he have conversations with Nikea and he talking about how great she is, it sounds like cap. It sounds like something you saying because you just want somebody to be interested in you so you can stay on the show longer.
Yeah.
And you knew that she was feeling a way about Clifton. And so you kept, coming in to save the day. And it just never seemed genuine to me. Because he would keep saying the same thing. If a man can't see how bad you are, something wrong with him. I said, how many times you going to tell her that exact same thing? It comes off like you're just running the track over and over again in your mind. But the thing about Carmen is that what Carmen doesn't understand is that that's why I didn't like Donovan. That was another reason why I did not like Donovan, because Donovan was acting like Carmen wasn't the person we were seeing her as, talking about she's so confident and, she's not worried about any other woman and she's very confident in who she is. I said, nigga, what show are you on? Because every time she's in a room with another woman, she's comparing herself. When she said Sabrina is a good girl, but she's a better woman, I was just like, are you now with your blue contacts? Are you now?
Miss Girl was putting out. Something was going on because it wasn't adding up.
It felt like you fucking him, ain't you? You're fucking him, ain't you?
Carmen has always had blue-eyed bitch envy in her just her whole aura. And while I do feel like Paul blue-eyed bitch envy in her aura, I feel like Paul said enough to insinuate shit, and I think Carmen ran with it. I don't think Paul ever said the kid's name as far as, her body ain't my. I don't think he would say the kid body ain't what I like to Carmen. I think Carmen listened to Paul Paul
I'll
says
give it
stuff
to
in
you.
general about the women, and she then put that on the kid because she don't like the kid. And you could tell that because she always went at the kid. Not anybody else, is always with the kid. And the kid pointing saying, she's had it out for me since Eric went home or since she knew Eric liked me. And I'm like, well, you're right. So while Paul wasn't innocent, I also don't think that he literally threw the kid up under the bus and said things specifically about her with her name. I think Carmen knew I can say this and it sounds believable because Paul be talking shit all the time.
You
And
know
I'm
what
like, that's a
else?
what?
Oh, go ahead, JV. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just Carmen, even the guy saying how she's a good Donovan on his live said Carmen is like the guy's friends. Like she's close to the guys. And I'm like, y'all knew her for what she said to y'all in person, but in her confessional, she was a mean, rude bitch. She was condescending. She was just a bitch. And I hope watching the season back, they see she two-faced. And she will act one way to your face and be different behind your back. So I do wonder how at the reunion, how they will look at her based on her confessional conversation. Because what she said in person wasn't that bad. You know, she would say stuff when other folks wasn't around, like calling Sabrina a good girl, but I'm a grown woman. I'm like, bitch, no, y'all both flawed, you and Sabrina. So to me, the only person who was innocent was the kid, because she said, you know, what I'm saying, class is always in style. You know, natural versus paid for. And I think she read her down without having to be mean, catty, and rude. She said, you come for me, I'm gonna come right back at you. And Carmen looked a fool because you came at the kid about Paul, who you don't want, while Donovan sitting up there looking like, well, how the fuck did the girl who supposedly like me want to fight with the kid about a man who she don't even want? So I'm like, you made yourself look
Right.
dumb. You fussing with a kid over a man you don't even want.
Oh, and you know what? It made me think when she's, you know, as y'all are talking and I'm reflecting back on the scene, guys say things just like women say stuff to stroke a man's ego. Guys say things to stroke a woman's ego. So now
Just to
it
get
makes
what
me
you want to
wonder
get.
if Paul was just saying that, especially seeing the type of woman that Carmen is. She's a woman that loves to be in competition with other women.
So just
He probably
saying,
said that to strike her ego, just to be
and
saying
because
that.
I think he was trying to get back in her good graces. Remember when she was trying to talk to him and he was just trying to eat his food, so he was egging her,
Yeah.
and so she moved on to putting all the pressure on Donovan. And I think that he realized that she was his only real connection, so he was like, "Oh shit, I fucked up. Let me big her head up and compare her to the woman that I know that she's secretly jealous of." And y'all asking what the issue is? I'm gonna tell you what the issue is. Carmen sees herself as the businesswoman, but Nikea embodies the shit in an effortless manner, meaning she doesn't have to hide her whole antics in order to still come off professional like Carmen does. So to me, I feel like Carmen looks at Nikea like a version of herself that she wished she really was, like that clean, respected. Like as much as the niggas tried to play Nikea, they respected her and they weren't gonna play with her. And I feel like a lot of times women like Carmen, y'all are essentially pick me, so y'all do things that y'all may not really want to do just so a man will like you, and then you end up feeling played and getting your feelings hurt. And then you have women like the Kia that won't even give you niggas the satisfaction. Like, no, if I ain't fucking with you, I ain't fucking with you. So I personally feel like she just always saw the Kia as her professional woman competition. She's in competition with all of the girls, but specifically with the Kia, because the Kia is, you know, and you heard the men talk about how she's a boss lady, and Carmen wants to be seen that way so much instead of just seeing like they saw Precious, the party girl. Oh, and let's not forget, Carmen has a job that Donovan can use to his advantage, correct? Because that's what I
What
heard.
Donovan do? What
I
does he
heard
do?
Donovan is a is it Donovan that does something in entertainment? Real estate? He does real estate, I believe. And Carmen does something, she's
Sports agent or
sports
something like
agent.
that.
So you got your old man, a real
Okay.
estate agent, you a sports agent that gives him rich male, you know, rich athlete clientele. So, you know, he could have been thinking about it from the standpoint of it's better for me to roll with Carmen in the long run because the relationship with her can get, you know, get me good business. The Kia, I'm sorry, Sabrina, on the other hand, you know, what I'm gonna get out of that relationship besides a woman that's emotionally intelligent enough to read me the fuck down.
Well,
So, you know.
there's that on that.